Hi everyone, my name is Vanessa van Dijk, and in today's video I want to share my experience with my hair, which has been shedding like crazy ever since I arrived here in Thailand. I can literally pull gently on my hair and a few hairs just come out, and it's honestly a bit scary to see. To be honest, I am not completely sure what is causing it, I can only guess. But let's start at the beginning because it's actually quite an interesting story. So back home in Europe, in Luxembourg and also during my stays in Vienna, I sometimes had phases of increased hair fall too. And over time I realized that for me it was mostly linked to shampoos. I was and still am always on the hunt for new shampoos because my problem is that I have an allergy to certain ingredients that almost all of them contain. Now, most of the popular brands make me cough, so I basically had to stick to fragrance-free and very gentle formulations, like the one from Vanille, for example, which was essentially one of the only ones I tolerated well. But the thing with those shampoos is that almost all of them are quite drying, and I tested quite a few of them. Even baby shampoos gave me the same issues. If I used them only once in a while, it was fine. But whenever I used them regularly, like 2 or 3 times per week, which is normally how often I wash my hair became super dry and brittle. And to fix that, I always had to add in another product, like conditioners, to balance it out again. Or sometimes even a regular shampoo. But with those, I knew it would cause problems if I did not wash it out properly or if any residue stuck around. So I often ended up having to clean my entire bathroom after that to get the residue out, which caused the cough. Or essentially my husband did, because he never had any issues with it. But my point here is that it really was a serious issue for me. I had to choose between coughing and taking medicines or inhalers while using regular shampoos and having good hair, or avoiding the coughing and not taking any medicines by using fragrance-free shampoos and then dealing with more hair fall. And at that stage I felt quite stuck and unsure what to do, so I decided to ask my hairdresser for advice before I left Vienna. He even mentioned that it looked like I might be losing a bit more hair than usual, probably because of some deficiencies. But when he washed it and combed it through, he told me it actually was not as bad as it seemed. It just looked like a lot, but it was not really the case. Still, he recommended me the shampoo they were using at the salon, which had a very subtle fragrance, but it seemed like I did not react to it. Yes, he probably just wanted to make a sale, I get that. But I actually liked the shampoo he used, because it was not commercial and they had their own formulation, so I bought it. And once I started using it, everything seemed fine again. But then, when I came to Thailand, things changed quite dramatically. Suddenly, I noticed a lot more hair fall than before. And not just a little, but enough to really scare me. At first I thought it might be the water, or the heat, or maybe even the sun. But what changed quite dramatically when I came here was my diet. And what confused me was that on paper, my diet here should actually be better than the one I had back in Europe. Because I eat much more fresh fruits and vegetables, rice and seafood. Because it is very available here, literally fresh, and not stored for ages like it's often the case in most of Europe, especially inland. So at first I didn't think food could be the main problem. But when I looked at it more closely, I realized that I had basically cut out almost all red meat, while back in Europe I ate it very regularly. Around 250 grams almost daily in the form of beef or lamb. So my iron and protein intake dropped without me noticing it, and both of those are really important for hair growth. And I have also read that when your body goes through big changes, like climate shifts, diet changes, stress or even jet lag, which I all went through, it can trigger something called a telogen effluvium. This is when your hair follicles go into a resting phase and shed all at once before they restart, which can take weeks to months, which is still quite scary to be honest. But it could explain why it feels like it's all falling out right now, even though the follicles are still healthy underneath. So maybe this is just my body adjusting. I really hope so. And I now plan on bringing back some iron-rich foods like beef or other red meats a few times a week and just give my body a bit more time to settle. And I'll also add a shower filter because the water quality where I am is quite bad. And of course, I will keep you updated in future videos once I know more about what is actually going on. Now, if you have had any similar experiences or any tips that might help or any other theories about what could be causing it, please share them in the comments down below because I would really love to hear your thoughts. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you soon in the next one.